Hey guys, Rahib here. Now this isn't some clickbait title or anything like that. I did actually quit my job last year to pursue videography full-time, hence the title. And I want to use this video to talk about my reasoning behind that decision and everything that's happened to me both personally and professionally in the past few years. Let's get into it. So let's start with some background into myself. If it wasn't obvious enough, I got into this whole videography business through dance. In college, I joined a Bollywood fusion dance team called Mason Kairang, or MKR for short. This was in 2016. I was on that team for 2 years, and within those 2 years, my love for dance grew exponentially. Everything I did involved dance in some way or form, and the members of MKR really became my dance family. Now, I don't remember what exactly caused me to make my first video. Maybe it was all the dance videos I used to watch, or maybe some vision came to me in my dreams. But I borrowed my friend's camera and filmed my first ever dance video to El Chapo by The Game. In retrospect, that video was really bad. It was my first video, but it was so cringe, I can't watch it anymore. But that's the subject for another video. From then on, I started making more and more dance videos and learning more about cameras, lighting, editing, and eventually got hired by my first client. Shout out to Rhythmaya. Now after college, I was doing all these dance videos and occasional gigs purely in my spare time on the weekends. My main source of income was a regular 9-to-5, Monday through Friday office engineering job. The job had its ups and downs, but it was fulfilling, especially financially. My main critique was that the job was really monotonous, especially as time went on. But I did get to work completely from home 3 years into the job, which was a major perk. While my office job fulfilled my financial needs, my videography side hustle and random dance videos fulfilled my creative needs. Fast forward a few years, I got married, bought a house, got some dogs, got promoted at work, and then of course, the pandemic happened. So this isn't a typical pandemic story. I was fortunate that I didn't lose my job or anything, and I still haven't had COVID, and neither has my family. So we were fortunate in that regard. The pandemic did, however, put a hamper on my creativity and videography in general. It was almost impossible for dancers to get together and make anything, and obviously clients couldn't request anything either because there were no events or parties or anything to require video. Ironically, this was also the same time I decided to open up RTZ and create a group of dedicated dancers and creatives. And right when I did, everything shut down. So it was like I literally made a giant group chat only to not talk in it or do anything for almost a year. Nonetheless, we stayed together virtually and brainstormed ways to keep making contact like every other creator had to do. Now in the back of my head, there was this looming fear of COVID. Like I would ask myself, if I got terminally ill, would I be able to look back at my life happily and without regret? So post-pandemic, with restrictions lifting, masks coming down, and vaccines entering our body, life was generally getting better. By 2022, I had grown RTZ into something more than just a side hustle. It was officially an LLC. I had a whole bunch of members contributing as dancers, choreographers, videographers. I was getting more clients and started working with other creatives in the area. But while the videography business grew, my interest in my day job decreased significantly. It had reached a point where I went part-time at the office, just so I could focus on either making RTZ a full-time gig or find another job that was more interesting and fulfilling. As I was job hunting for other positions in the STEM field, I realized I didn't want to work for another meaningless job. I had a fulfilling job already. Scratch that, career. It was videography, it was filmmaking, it was RTZ. I didn't want to work some boring or at best mildly pleasing desk job for 8 hours and then try to be artistic and creative on the weekends and do that for the next 30 or 40 years. By the time I would have enough money to retire and fully commit to my passions, I would be in my 50s or 60s and wasted most of my good years essentially. I don't want to wait that long to essentially live. As cliche as this sounds, I wanted to wake up every day excited and happy to work in my field and not just for the money. So I think the tipping point of everything was in the summer of 2022, where I did a music video shoot for an old friend of mine. He sang and made music on the side. He was kind of on and off with his music in college, but when he hired me, he told me that he was packing all his things up and moving across the country to LA so he could fully pursue a music career. Shout out to Jinx. That was pretty shocking, so I asked him, why now after all these years? And he told me that he had a close friend of his die from COVID, and that shocked him into realizing that if he didn't pursue his dreams now, then he might never be able to. That hit me hard. This was that dark thought I had in the back of my head I talked about earlier. I could have been that friend. I could have had my life end so shortly and suddenly without doing what I wanted to do. So after that, I shifted my gears into finding more videography jobs and clients instead of STEM jobs. I wanted everything I did to be related to my passions. Fortunately, a few months later, I got a job as a videographer for a local dance studio, as well as a real estate marketing company. I also booked one of my biggest projects ever with 2 local artists, where I would make the music video for their upcoming song. Shout out Blake G and Tranquility. With all those factors coming together, I finally had the courage to put in my 2 weeks at the office in October. I'll admit, it was bittersweet. That was my first big boy job right after college, and I had a great boss and team, but it was my time to go, and they all wished me well on my journey. So for the rest of the year, I kept pushing myself to make content that I could be proud of for both of my YouTube channels, as well as for my clients. Now here we are. I don't know what the future has in store for me, but I do know that I'll be able to move forward with the knowledge that I tried, I lived, and I gave it everything I had, as cheesy as that sounds. Thank you for listening to my life story for the last few minutes. I wanted to make this video to give inspiration or courage to people who are in the same kind of situation, who are choosing between what they have to do and what they want to do. And hopefully this could give you a little push in the right direction, and I hope that you learn something from it. On a less serious note, let me know how you like these talking videos. I'm trying to vary up the content I post here, so I think this may be a good start. Oh, and before I forget, none of this would have been possible without the support of my loving wife. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Hey guys, Rahib here. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to the channel, hit that bell button to get a notification whenever there's a new video. If you want to support the channel, check out the merch shop, as well as the Buy Me a Coffee page and the Patreon page to get monthly benefits such as exclusive BTS content, unedited podcasts, and early access to all the videos. All the funds help grow the channel and keep it afloat, so any and all help is appreciated. All the links are in the description, and I'll see you guys next time.